Hello ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here for Digital Dojos, and today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, and more importantly, why it's on the rise. So, here at Digital Dojos, I aim to, of course, keep you up to date in the latest and most important news and technology, but furthermore, I want to aim to not just simplify it, but also talk about its importance in the world and going forward. Much related to the story today about Bitcoin and why it's currently on the rise, so let's begin by first off, giving my personal definition of what is Bitcoin and trying to answer that for some of you who may not know. Bitcoin was founded back in 2009. They actually don't know who the founder is, but I believe he goes by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. And it was a digital currency, also known as a cryptocurrency. Now, much like denominations in our world today, dollar, yen, pound, there's multiple cryptocurrencies out there. Bitcoin is not the only one. Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, for example, but it is one of the most, or the most, I would say, popular one. Bitcoin is founded on the idea that it is a decentralized currency. There's no government behind it, there's no country, there's no banks or major corporations, giving it much more of a free state. There's no fees, international fees, transaction fees, so on and so forth, making it much more of an appealing form of currency. It's almost a free currency in effect, where everyone can use it, everyone can acquire it, and it can be used in essence everywhere. Now, there are, stipulations around that. You have to find manufacturers and people, of course, who accept Bitcoin, but slowly over time, since 2009, that has grown and grown and grown and, multiplied into more and more people who not just accept it, but businesses and websites where you can buy their services with Bitcoin. You can buy food with Bitcoin. You can even go to a Bitcoin ATM and receive US dollars out of it. It's the equivalent of me, for example, saying, here is a button. I'm going to now pay you in buttons. And unless you associate buttons with value or have some worth to it, if you can sell that button to someone else or buy, food with a button, then there's no business of it being a currency. Yet here is this thing called Bitcoin that in the last 7 years has steadily grown in worth. Where it was worth a couple cents back in 2009, it is now today worth over, as of this video, $2,400+. Now, I personally heard and started investing in Bitcoin back in 2013. It was $400 a coin. I personally went into it for investment purposes, and over time I've seen it grown due to a series of events, but 2013, 2014 is when it peaked at around $1,300. That's the highest price it had been at up until today. Now, why the sudden rise in that 4-year span? Well, again, aside from it growing more and more popularity, in late April, Japan recognized it as a legal form of currency in Japan, meaning outside of Japanese yen, Bitcoin will now be a legal currency. Russia is looking to do the same in 2018. Countries like China and Korea have been amassing more and more Bitcoins, causing the price to go up. Now, furthermore, and just more recently, I should say, the Digital Currency Group had a discussion and kind of forum held to discuss the future of not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrencies as a whole and how they're going to scale it. Because the concern by a lot of people were, have we hit its peak? Have we stopped? In essence, like, are we going to generate more? Much like, the discussion about money. Like, are we going to print more money? Same kind of concept there. And what does the future entail for this? And they discussed that, yes, they will and do have plans to continue to scale this kind of cryptocurrency out there, which alleviated a lot of concerns and pressure. And again, more and more people bought, causing the price to go up. Because it's like a stock or share, like you can see here. There's Bitcoin exchanges like Coinbase, blockchain, a lot of different places you can kind of go to get what they call a digital wallet. So yeah, I have a physical wallet here. Essentially, you imagine this, being in the cloud, and that's where your Bitcoins are stored. Obviously, it's much more secure than that. But your digital wallet, you can then use that to buy and sell and trade Bitcoin at whatever, exchange you prefer. So again, the price has skyrocketed this year alone. It's up 150+%. To give you some reference, if you bought Bitcoin 7 years ago, if you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin, just in 2010 alone, you would have over, I think, $70+ million today. And why this is so important. There's no telling whether or not a year, 10 years from now, Bitcoin will still be around, cryptocurrencies will become a thing. But you got to understand, as we move more in terms of a digital age, as we grow more as a society and depend more on things like technology, this is something that just makes sense. A freestanding currency, no corporations, no governments behind it, meaning no fees, and kind of more of a free-form flowing currency. Now, yes, there are pros and cons behind that, and there's a lot of debate there whether it has a long-standing future behind it, and what kind of regulations the governments are beginning to put on it, and so on and so forth. But it is a discussion to be had. It is something that is important to talk about and in some essence understand, even if you're not using it, buying it, or whatever. Because for the most part, $1 is going to be $1 today, tomorrow, a year from now. Bitcoin can be $10 from a year from now. It can be $10,000 a year from now. It is very volatile in that essence. But again, I'm invested in it, so I have a personal interest in it growing as a whole. But I hope this answers the question of what it is, and furthermore, why it's being talked about so much and why it's currently on the rise. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, comment down below your thoughts, opinions, feedback. If you want to keep more in tune with discussions like this and information about Bitcoin, be sure to check out more content over at digitaldojos.com. Thanks a lot for watching.